Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskeys, 80 proof. Both are 80 proof, and both have no age statement, which means they're at least 4 years old, both of them. Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey, so they got no coloring added, no flavoring added, all right? What you see is authentic. Hey, Old Charter, Old Number 8 recipe, introduced in 1874. It's a Buffalo Trace brand. It's produced at Buffalo Trace Distillery, and I put the link below to Sazerac.com. There are other Old Charter variants, but this is the basic one. They used to make it. They used to have it at 86 proof. I think there was also a 100 proof version at one time. There was a 10-year aged. There used to be an 8-year age, and there was a 7-year age. I saw magazine advertisements for all three. This is no age statement. Okay, make sure I got the correct labels. This is Henry McKenna. Now it says established 1855, but that's just clever marketing. Okay, honestly, yeah, there was a guy named Henry McKenna. He was an immigrant from Ireland. He started a distillery. And that's as far as the connection. That's the connection to Heaven Hill. They just used the name. And in 1961, they introduced Henry McKenna, Kentucky Straight Bourbon. I saw this last week, still at $9.99. And I paid $9.99 for it. Okay. Sounds hard to believe, but it's a true story. Let's see. Coastal flood warning. Okay. All right. Brown label, nice looking label. Nothing fancy. No website listing. Like if you look up Heaven Hill, when you look at all their whiskeys or whatever, what they're showing photos and descriptions, it's not listed. Now it's in the product specifications. You'll see that, but that's just text. Like it'll say, like a coded stuff. So, but they don't promote it. It just exists. All right. Old Charter, yes, they do promote this. Sazerac has 3 different websites showing Old Charter. All right. Actually, 4 different websites, because the 4th is the Old Charter Specialty Oak, the French oak, Mongolian oak, and so forth. All right. Which one is more popular? I don't know. Henry McKenna seems to be around here pretty prominently. Not in my town. I don't think it's sold in my town, but you go deeper into New Orleans. Oh yes, you see it around. Old Charter. I think Winn-Dixie has it and Walmart has it here. Appearance. Well, I poured too much. Sorry. It's a waste, actually. It's not the point of drinking it, which I don't really want to drink that much, but it's the waste. I should have done half of that, but sometimes it's hard to get it right. All right, this Henry McKenna is a little more amber, a little more copper, actually, a little more copper, and the Old Charter is a little bit more amber, okay? So that's the story there. But it's not going to be a profound enough difference in shade that I got to, look away or close my eyes. I don't think so. It's probably going to be a virtual tie. They're pretty much the same. So in this case, I think what's going to happen is I'm not going to be able to tell them apart very easily, if at all. And it's going to just show you that you may as well pay the lower price for many of these. Why pay $16.99 when you could pay $9.99 and you're getting basically the same thing? Oh yeah, Henry McKenna. I forgot to put that. Let me put that in the notes. It's a sour mash bourbon, whereas Old Charter is not sour mash. It's a method of production. apparently pioneered by Old Crow, Dr. James Crow. All right. Yeah, charred oak, but very little corn. It's like not a lot of aroma. Okay, so if you think you're going to get intricate, detailed aroma, I don't think you're going to. At least I'm not getting it. Same thing here, but even less of it. And that was an old charter thing that I noticed. Old charter having not, very minimal aroma and so forth. So on aroma, I think the one in my right hand is the old charter. But it is a taste challenge. It's not an aroma challenge. So let's go with which one smells better? Well, I guess this one has a little bit more character. So that one. So I guess the Heaven Hills winning, the Henry McKenna, assuming I got it right now. Taste. Cheers to your morning. Bottom of the morning to you. Oh, yeah. All right. Sweet corn, like candy corn. Vanilla, charred oak, honeysuckle nectar. You say yada yada yada. Same old thing. Typical bourbon flavors. Yeah, you got it right. Typical bourbon flavors. Stereotypical bourbon flavor. Same thing here. A little bit more char, and I guess that would make it old char. But let's see about if I can pick up any sour mash characteristics like that sourdough bagel. I don't believe I will, but let's see if I could by some bizarre circumstance. No, I don't think so. Maybe so. Maybe over here. Maybe, maybe, maybe. It's like maybe, maybe. Well, regardless of which is which, and I'm not sure about that at this point, but I'm about to make my determination. I would definitely not ever buy the old charter over Henry McKenna. Why? Because Henry McKenna is $7 cheaper, at least. So I'm not paying $7 extra to get 7 cents better product. And that's assuming it's better, which it isn't. So the winner, clearly, the clear and present winner is Henry McKenna. Doesn't taste better. Can't say that. Get that glare off. But it certainly, that's what it looks like. Certainly doesn't taste any worse. And it's cheaper than that one. So there you go. There's your winner. All right, now, did I get it right? Is this the McKenna and not the old charter? No, that's the old charter, and that's Henry McKenna. Couldn't even tell it apart. Now, you might say, you don't know how to taste bourbon. That's why you don't have the ability. I don't agree with that, but okay, let's say that that's your contention. Well, then my response would be, okay, now you got to do the taste challenge. Otherwise, you're just, laying down air. You're not putting down anything concrete because it's just it's just talk, meaningless talk. It's like saying, "Oh yeah, I don't want to stop drinking Bud Light because it's better than all the rest." And I say, "You tasted all the other light beers?" Oh well, yeah, it's way better than Miller Lite. You hear that? Way better than Miller Lite. It's way better than Coors Light. Oh yeah. But then the people making that assessment or that statement, they're not going to do the blind taste test. If they did, they would be hard pressed to tell them apart. And I would dare say they probably would almost never be able to get it correct. I mean, it would happen, but it wouldn't happen as much as they might believe. And you got to prove it. You got to say, not just do it once and say, see, no, 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 no. You got to do a real tournament to bring that out. So you say, oh, I'm a dedicated Bud Light drinker, but for various reasons, I'm thinking about going to something else. But I just love Bud Light. It's so wonderful. And, whatever. Okay, let's try it out. Let's put it up against any non-Anheuser-Busch light beer. So you go up against, they used to have Milwaukee's Best. Milwaukee. What am I saying? Miller High Life Light. Unfortunately, that was discontinued. That was a really good one. But so you say, okay, go up against Schaefer Light. Go up against Old Milwaukee Light. Go up against Miller Light. Go up against Milwaukee's Best Light. Compete against Coors Light. Compete against Keystone Light. Yingling Light, there you go, because that's in most stores these days. Well, in the eastern Mississippi River, but it's now into Texas, so they're all comparably priced. And but let's see how well your beloved Bud Light does against those. After you do the tournament, you're probably going to say, "Man, I don't know why I've been paying all this extra money." And then maybe I will change because of the extra money plus other reasons. So then, see, but that can be done with any kind of drink, Irish whiskey, bourbon, gin, scotch, regular beer like Miller High Life, Budweiser, Coors Banquet, so forth. All right. And I think a lot of people in the last week have been trying out light beer alternatives. But they're not doing the blind taste test, I guess most people just aren't going to do that. And but what they're going to probably find just with a casual drinking experience is that, wow, this is really not, oh, this is really remarkable, or I can't believe what I've been missing. No, it's not going to be anything like that. It's just going to be like, well, heck, this Lone Star Light is just as good as Bud Light, if not better. This Pabst Easy, their light version, it's just as good as Bud Light, if not better, and so on and so on. There's a lot more things out there there's a lot more alternatives out there than you might believe. So dilly that could be happening. It is happening as we speak. It's not like people are going to stop drinking beer. If they've been drinking light beer since 1989, they're not going to stop. But they might now start exploring and leave their comfort zone. And they're not going to get thrown in a dungeon. But they might save some money. All right. They will save some money in almost every case. All right. So, well, not only did the Henry McKenna win on price, I couldn't even tell them apart. Just goes to show you. All right. Well, thanks for watching. And I will be back for the Friday Taste Challenge, which will be Old Charter against another Heaven Hill brand. And I guarantee you this time it will have no chance, and it won't be a tie, and it won't be a confusion, and it will lose. It will lose, even with price point considered. All right. But we'll address that when we get to it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.